Hey everyone, and welcome to the final episode of Ratchet & Clank Going Commando. Last time, we finished up basically everything that we wanted to do in the game, in our challenge mode run. We have all but one mega weapon. One of them got upgraded, but the rest I'm not going to worry about. We finished all but one arena challenge. The last one that we didn't finish, I did show to the best of my ability. I could probably beat it eventually, but it would take a lot of practice, and the reward is just way too low. And that last round is awful. Yeah, we've done basically everything. We have all the skill points, we have all the platinum bolts, we have every weapon, and we have every weapon upgraded. Well, at the very least, we have their initial forms upgraded. Not, like I said, not necessarily the mega weapons. I'm not too worried about those. It's all stuff we've seen again, just more powerful. So, with basically everything done, what is there left to do? Well, once you have all the weapons, and all the skill points, and all the platinum bolts, and all the weapons are upgraded, as you do all of this, various things unlock in your special menu. The first thing that begins to unlock is, as we've seen before, the cheats. These unlock for completing the skill points, with Snow Dude unlocking for finishing the impossible challenge, and everything else unlocking for various numbers of skill points up to 30. We can view our skill points here, of course, but we have all 30. A few other things have unlocked. As we saw when we started challenge mode, there's first person mode. In addition to that, there's also shortcuts, which let us quickly get back to various areas in the game, including the Insomniac Museum. I showed how to get to it in-game the quote-unquote proper way, back on Bolden, where you have to go to a particular fountain at 3 a.m. precisely on the PlayStation 2 clock, and then a teleporter appears. We'll be checking that out for sure in this episode, the Insomniac Museum, but there are, of course, other things to look at. The movies and the random stuff are what we're gonna look at before we get to the museum. First off, the movies. Here, we can look at the cinematics, the various cutscenes that played throughout the game, which we've seen them before, so it's not a big deal. The credits, we've seen them. It's not a big deal. We can go ahead and skip over that. The making of video, the cancelled commercials, and the sketchbook are going to be the three things we want to look at here in the movies. So, starting out with the making of video.
Ratchet & Clank Going Commando is an explosive game. I think that's probably the best word to describe it. The weapons that you get, the upgrades that you get, and the enemies that you face create carnage. When we finished Ratchet & Clank, we had an opportunity to move right into the sequel. And I went around and started asking people, what do you think? Should we do it? The answer was yes. Let's go ahead and take advantage of the momentum that we've built with the first game.
We did this game in only a year, and that, I mean, in this day and age, and especially for a game as big as this, that's almost impossible. I'd say it is impossible if you're not coming off of a running start.
We had strong RPG elements, we had very strong action platformer gameplay, and we're bringing all of those elements to the new game, and then we're upping it.
I think what really made Ratchet & Clank popular was all these weapons, and people just wanted to go and blow it up, and we want to take that to the next level. With Ratchet & Clank 2, we want to say, okay, we're tripling, we're quadrupling your firepower. It's all about blowing 10 times as much shit up.
There's bigger weapons, there's bigger explosions, there's bigger adventures to go on, which is really going to help involve the player in gameplay and within the story itself.
Ratchet & Clank have just defeated Drek. They're hanging out at home, chilling, watching TV. They are transported suddenly into this giant ship where a guy named Mr. Fizzwidget asks them for their help.
I'm sorry to incapacitate you, but our entire galaxy is in a very precocious situation. I must humbly request your sustenance on a mission of dire urgitude.
He says, I want you to come to the Bogon Galaxy and retrieve this experiment. And in return, I'm going to make you a commando.
We try to push forward at all times. We try to think of something that we haven't done before that's really going to challenge all of us as a team. This definitely takes place in the Ratchet and Clank universe, but I think we've moved kind of to the outer fringes of that universe now. So we have everything from an alien swamp to like an outer space casino that's in orbit to giant bustling cities that are just really alive and teeming. Sometimes it can be frustrating as an artist to build these worlds that you think are really beautiful, but then know that all the player wants to do is blow them up.
What we wanted to convey is just the feeling of raw power that the player has at its fingertips. Ratchet has an arsenal of some of the coolest weapons I've ever seen.
This time we decided to do things that were a lot more graphical and, effects-based, energy weapons, electricity, lava, plasma.
We have the mini rocket gun. It's very similar to the Devastator, but much more powerful this time. Synthenoid is a small character who has a weapon for an arm. He'll fly like a little angel above your shoulder. There is a throwing star, which is your boomerang style. It bounces off walls, takes out enemies. It has a seeking advantage to it where it will actually find your enemy for you.
I've sometimes started over a weapon because people look at it and go, oh, that's good. Start over. That's not good enough. When you show a finished weapon and people look at it and go, whoa, you know you did your job good.
The changes from level to level as you progress in a new Ratchet are extraordinary. The enemies get much tougher, their attacks are stronger, and you as the player need to find ways to combat that.
We definitely wanted Ratchet to improve over the course of the game. So now his health increases. He actually gets experience from his enemies. His weapons improve based on, which weapons he's using or how often he uses them. And he has the chance to evolve over the course of the entire game.
We've created an experience system whereby your own ability to do damage increases the more enemies you kill, and your weapons also gain experience and go through upgrades, so that by the end of the game, you're maybe 100 times more powerful than you were at the beginning.
One of the philosophies that we've adopted at Insomniac is to create a lot of replay in our games, and Maxi Games works perfectly with that philosophy.
Maxi games are an evolution of the mini games. It's an opportunity for players to make money, to gain experience, and to play something fun.
I love the hover bike races, and the reason I love it is because of the sense of speed that you get.
Spherical worlds are these like small moonlets that Ratchet can travel around and jump on these jump pads and fly up to very high heights. And you get the sense of vertigo as you're like standing on this very tall structure looking down at the spherical world.
We have some sensitive stomachs at Insomniac, so we can always find those group of guys and show them a spherical world or show them some spherical challenge, and that will be our bar for nauseating effect. They were not vomiting, but they ended up, but there were some close calls.
Who are these people?
I ain't telling.
I see it's time to update my security forces.
Whoa, no, hey, no, look, I'm just here to fix the transflexor coil.
We're going back in the studio today to record some more dialogue for the new game.
This is where it all happens.
We should probably start with the Ratchet stuff.
Okay.
Cool. This one is a built-in thermal stabilizer, a humidifier, a low jack, the optional massage feature, caller ID, and a cup holder. Ah!
Yeah, is it more like...
I do not understand. This is bad. This is it, the prototype duplication room.
I sound like Stephen Hawking now. The universe is expanding. How much for 2 girls? I'm sorry.
Well, I'm off.
Clank doesn't use contractions.
Son of a... Well, I am off.
Ratchet and Clank Going Commando is not just a character action game. It's something that we can't even define at this point because we've added so many elements from other genres into this game.
We've taken a whole host of attributes of RPGs and brought them into the Ratchet universe. Ratchet gets much stronger. Ratchet has experience points. There is a whole range of weapons that Ratchet can use. There's really no end to it.
We really try to push it so that players get the satisfaction of blowing the out of the enemies.
All right, next up on the list, we have the canceled commercials.
This is the test of the mini rocket gun, the rocket launcher from Ratchet & Clank Going Commando.
Damn, if those had been showed on TV, this game would have sold 1 billion copies. Those are the best commercials I've ever seen. Alright, last up we have the Sketchbook. Unfortunately, whereas in the first game you could actually scroll through and read a bit of text about each item in the Sketchbook, looks like we just got a movie here, so... Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little disappointed. The Sketchbook in Ratchet & Clank 1 was much, much better, since you actually got to scroll through the pictures and read text about them, whereas this was more of just a showcase. Oh well. Alright, next thing we have is the random stuff. We have 5 things that unlock, mostly for getting all of the weapons and weapon upgrades in the game. First off, we have Clank's Day at Insomniac. 9 a.m. We arrived to work early in my vintage car. My smaller stature made it impossible for me to secure a license, so I let Ratchet drive. He seems to enjoy it. 9:10 a.m. At first I was afraid of Larry the security guard, but he is a pleasant fellow once you get to know him. I'm surprised they're letting a thug for less actually work at... Alright then. 9:15 a.m. My olfactory senses detected a strange smell in the elevator. Oh no, those things. 9:20 a.m. Our front desk administrator, Demery, enjoys greeting the employees. Today I release the latest information on robot harassment in the workplace. 10 a.m. Angela has a great laugh. I love to regale her with my latest exploits. I try to leave out the parts that may be a bit off color. Oh, and there is Phil. Hard worker, keeps to himself. 10:40 a.m. Mr. Price found a multiplication error in my accounting report. This is the second one this year. Need to check my math circuits. 11 a.m. No matter how many times I explain the effect of carcinogens on the human anatomy, Dan refuses to give up that filthy habit. 11:30 a.m. The artist must be able to capture Ratchet's essence from every angle. This is his favorite part of the day, the big ham. Oh my god. Really? They did that? Oh god. Noon. Lunchtime. We get free lunch every Friday. Today they were offering grease pudding. My favorite. Delicious grease. 12:30 p.m. Captain Quark has got game. After splitting his spandex on this shot, he also got a new suit. Oh, awful. I'm so sorry for everyone involved. Except Quark. 1 p.m. I never use the facilities when Angela's in there. Argus. Wow, brain. Incredible. Incredible misread. 1:30 p.m. Our testing department works tirelessly to find every bug in the game. They didn't find the fucking arena bugs, unfortunately. I am unsure where they get their motivation. 2 p.m. Ratchet can sometimes get overzealous when letting off a little steam. The wall had it coming anyway. 3 p.m. The mathematician is attempting to multiply himself again. I need to subtract this image from my memory banks and subject all of us to it. 3:45 p.m. Look, plumber's crack. I slay me. 4:20 p.m. Walter casts a magic missile, but he was blocked by my 6 levels withered shield spell. Step off, Walter, step off. 6 p.m. Angela and Abe started their exercise program today. Abe says that he likes, that he gets his best ideas when running, like that idea for a solar-powered neck warmer. Do they... Okay, I know Abe comes from Abercrombie, but really? 9:30 p.m. Well, that is it for today. The cleaning crew arrives to get our office ready for tomorrow. Good night. Well, good to see that Ratchet, Clank, and the rest all work at Insomniac. I'm sure they are great additions to the team for sure. I am rather impressed for Insomniac in 2003 being able to integrate the models so well into real world photos. I don't know. They did a good job integrating them in. It looks clean. It looks very clean. Next up, we have paintings. First off, the Exterminator. Oh, this is... Why? Why, game? Why? When I saw Dave Girton's design for the Exterminator and Greg Baldwin's design for the Exterminator ship, I immediately envisioned this confrontation between... Oh my god, why does it scroll so fast? Read it yourself and pause. I cannot read that fast enough and have it be comprehensible. Next up, we have a robot chasing Ratchet. The Snow Beast. Oh, the Snow Beast. Oh god, that's a dead Ratchet. Poor Clank. On Ratchet's trail. The Megacorp convoy. The unknown. Huh, interesting painting of Angela. And that's all the paintings. Just a few paintings they did for the game, I guess. Next up, we have Endorsement Deals. Hello, Robot Fizzwidget. Wait, hang on. Megacorp Burger. Oh no, Megacorp Burgers. Ratchet and Clank cereal. Quark seems like he's having a bad time. It must be bad cereal. Oh my god. Action figures. They're all 50% off, of course. Nope, not calling that number. I do not trust him. 4.6 billion for the ship. Dang, that is an expensive ship. Snow Beast. Oh my god, is this a parody of one of the Coca-Cola ads? Oh, it probably is. We got a movie poster. Getting Star Wars vibes out of this, but I don't remember. Yeah, this is definitely a Star Wars poster parody. And that's all the endorsement deals. Next up, we have Sheep Blasters. Which is... oh my gosh, is this Space Invaders? I can't believe it's Space Invaders. And it looks to be 2-player. It looks like if you plug in a second controller, you can... oh, there I am. It looks like if you plug in a second controller, someone can control the bottom robot. I can't believe it. Space Invaders. But it's Sheep Blasters. Why is it the player 2 score that's going up? But yeah, I guess you can play Space Invaders. I think the normal way to access this is to use the dynamo on the small triangular game console thing in Clank's little condo that he has back on the city planet. God, I forgot his name, and I want to say Endako, but that's probably wrong, and then I will feel embarrassed. Except it's probably right, because that's the word that's coming to my head, and my memory's not that bad. Alright, we don't need to play more of Sheep Invaders. Next thing is Space-ish Wars. Alright, what do we have here? Wait. Oh. Interesting. This is an interesting game. So I rotate using the left stick. It's not like I point in order to aim. I rotate. And then I can fire bullets which orbit around the sun. And the screen loops. I can try to hit the other player. Interesting. I only have one controller and it's just me. There's no second player to fight against, but very, very interesting. It reminds me of a Steam game that I picked up in a Humble Bundle years and years and years ago. But I also haven't played that game in so long, I forget what it's called. It's a game where you play as basically a cellular life and try to absorb other creatures in order to get bigger. And there's definitely a very frequent gravity mechanic like this in it. Alright, interesting. So we got a few minigames. Mostly multiplayer games we can check out. And that is actually it for the random stuff. So the last thing we have to actually check out is the shortcut to the Insomniac Museum. Alright, so the Insomniac Museum is something that they added for this game specifically. Normally if you come in the normal way through Bolden, this will actually just take you back to the hallway that you get to from the teleporter on the fountain. But the Insomniac Museum, honestly, I'm gonna largely let it speak for itself. It is modeled after the Insomniac offices and shows a lot of behind the scenes development stuff.
This is Mike Stout. I'm a designer at Insomniac Games. Hi, welcome to the Insomniac Museum. Here you'll see some of the great things that never quite made it into the game, and you'll learn a little bit about life here at Insomniac Games.
So we have basically developer commentary. We can run around and check out all sorts of things that the developers either worked on or didn't quite make it into the game in some cases.
Hello, my name is Brian Allgeier, the design director at Insomniac Games. These floating spherical monstrosities are the elusive gravity spheres, which were originally going to be included in Silver City. They proved to be too difficult, and a bit nauseating, to be included. They are preserved here for posterity. Swing shot up to try running around one, and then swing shot again to get off the sphere.
The voice lines don't quite match up with the captions, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave it be, because it's close enough. You still get the intended message out of them. Anyways, hello Mario Galaxy, before Mario Galaxy. I can't believe it. Super Mario Galaxy ripped off Ratchet and Clank. Wait, hang on. That's been an inside joke with me and my friends for a while since I did my first playthroughs of the Ratchet and Clank series. Is this where that came from? I forgot. Okay, so they said swing shot again to get off? There we go. That works. Oh, and there's a target right there, so I don't have to cancel mid-walk. Or, sorry, mid-swing. And we can also, of course, hop up onto the ceiling and walls. Yeah, I'm not gonna try and navigate this place on the walls. That would be awful.
Hi there, my name's Tim Trespass. I'm a gameplay programmer here at Insomniac Games. I'm a Leo from Washington, D.C. I like anime and shiny objects. This car was originally going to be included in the battle with the giant robot on Snivlac. Unfortunately, its lack of heavy weaponry proved its bane. It now calls the Insomniac Museum its home.
Alright, so this was going to be used in the Snivlac fight. Okay, we can drive it around. X to go forward, circle to go back. No weapons, and triangle gets out. Hello?
Hiya! This is Oliver Wade, the animation director here at Insomniac Games. The three-headed Hydra was a big cut from Ratchet and Clank 1. It was originally intended as a mini-boss on Pokitaru. Ratchet battled this beast whilst riding a boat through blowfish-infested waters. However, it didn't end up being that much fun at all.
Wow, you only read like half the message, and I'm not gonna lie, I can tell that that accent was fake. And it was very distracting. Alright, hello there, Hydra. So you were going to be a mini-boss on Pokitaru in Ratchet & Clank 1. Interesting. And they continue to have ways to get up on the walls. Alright, now I'm concerned. There's going to be something hidden up on the walls, isn't there? Alright then, so next up we're going to be heading back this way. What do we got in here?
My name is Chris Town, and I'm a tester here at Insomniac Games.
Here at Insomniac, we're so hopped up on caffeine that we bounce off the walls! You can do the same with these gravity ramps.
Good for you. I don't care to walk on the walls. It's just gonna disorient me and make me nauseous. Alright then, so next up, down this way, I'm hoping we'll be able to actually spot everything. This area can definitely get a little bit maze-like sometimes. I'm trying to go along the right-hand side, loop around, and then go back down the left-hand side.
Hi, my name is Tony Garcia, and I'm a programmer at Insomniac Games. This wonder of an explosion was created especially for Ratchet & Clank 2. Its extreme versatility allowed it to creep into many different places in the game. You'll even see it in the electrolyzer puzzles. Stand on the blue pad to make your own explosions.
We can customize the game's explosions. Oh my god, they just straight up give us the debug menu. Okay, we can change the scale, which appears to just be how far the particles are allowed to go. We can change the number of moon rocks, which I assume is just the number of different types of particles. Okay. The number of silvers. Oh, is that probably supposed to be slivers? Molten rocks. Number of clouds. Yeah, just modifying the various numbers of particles. Interesting. Number of lines. Okay, the lines that just straight up come out of the explosion. I see it. And then we can also change the color of the explosion. Let's make it a bit more green, and let's make it very, very blue. That way it's a very hot fire. It's very, very cool that we're allowed to customize this stuff with the debug menu. We've got distortion. Oh, atmospheric distortion effects. That's impressive for early PS2. We've got a shell. I don't quite see the difference. And we do have camera shake. Oh, that's gonna be annoying. Very cool that we can customize that. Next up, we have this.
Tony Garcia here. This little demonstration allows you to create your own shot effect. Using the magic of debug technology, you can edit the shot's size and color, and then watch the bandit shoot it at the blockman. Don't feel too sorry for the blockman though, he's evil.
What did the blockman do? I need context. You can't just say he's evil, there needs to be context for his evil. Okay, so we've got front thickness, just the size of the main bullet, I'm assuming? Oh! Look at those! The big curving waves on the top and bottom, that's what it looks to be affecting. Okay, then trail thickness is, well, the bullet trail. Interesting. End thickness. We've got the inner width, which is, okay, like the inner trail. Got it. Tip scale. I'm not gonna lie, watching this shot go off over and over is giving me a bit of a headache. Texture rot. What is texture rot? It seems to have something to do with the coherence of the actual tail. Maybe how fast the tail fades from existence? But then there's also the tail length, which is clearly how long the tail is. Alright, what about this tip texture? Oh! So we have just various options for the image at the front of the shot. Okay, so this could be like different types of shots have different textures. And then different textures for the tail itself. And then how about the end texture? Oh, that's the curving lines around the edge. Got it. Interesting. And then we can also, oh, wow. There's so much customizability. I'm not going to go through all of it. If you want to check this out, you can play it yourself. Oh, God, there's also this behind us, which probably also is another demonstration of it. Yeah, this is probably just another demonstration without having to worry about the constant firing. Got it. Interesting. Next up, what do we have down here? Got a room back here with... Oh god, please don't. Game. We got a few things over here.
Hello, this is Pedro Hastinas. I'm a gameplay programmer at Insomniac Games. This little widget was used to test our new chunk system. We lovingly call it the corn system. Notice how all the breakables in this game are much prettier? Well, that's corn working hard for you. Give it a whack and see what it does.
Alright, let's check out the new chunks. Ah, very nice. It broke to pieces. And we have a ragdoll... Just a ragdoll robot.
Mike Stout here. Fear the random robot NPC. This robot never made it into Ratchet & Clank 1 because of the fabled Day of Poultry, when chickens swarmed over our offices and pecked the computer, holding this mechanical darling to pieces. We were able to retrieve her eventually, though.
Okay, what actually happened? There's no way their offices were invaded by chickens and a single computer containing a single robot got destroyed. That can't be a real story, can it? Alright, next up, what do we have over here? A ship? And I imagine you'll tell me more about it. Hang on, why is my... Give me that.
Mike Stout here. Have you ever wanted to create your own infiltrator puzzle? Well,
No.
you can. Just stand on the blue pad and play around with the values a bit. Confound your friends and amaze your enemies.
I don't... Okay, I guess we can play we can make our own infiltrators. Here's the default. I fucking hate the infiltrator so much, but now we can make our own. There's random seed, start time, and then a lot of path data. The path data is, 0 to 3, -1 to 3. I'm curious what it actually means. There's 12 entries, so let's see. We've got up, left, and right. No, I wanted to... Let's decrease that to 1. Up and right. Okay. 1 is up and right. No. Oh, god damn it. 2 is down and right. And what's 0 and -1? I'm trying to figure out how this works. So 0 is right. And -1 is... nothing. Okay, interesting. I think I have an idea of how this works. So, -1 is obviously no paths. 0 is one path. 1 is... what was it? 2 paths? 2 is also 2 paths. And 3 is 3 paths. Okay. Hang on. So 2 is up and right, and 1 is also up and right. Okay, there are 6 outlets there, which corresponds with... let's see. What does path data here do? -1 is going to be end of puzzle. Or not included in puzzle. Okay. 0 would be... I really want to figure out how this works, actually. Down. Unfortunately, the fact that there is a random seed involved means that it's going... Our choices on all the other paths is going to affect the direction everything goes. So it's actually going to be really hard to figure out how that works, but it does seem like the path data just corresponds to the number of possible places you can go. But then the question is... how do you dictate the correct path? That would probably take way too long to figure out, so we're just gonna move on. But I would love for someone who has played around with that to explain to me exactly how that works. We've got another ship here. Do you have weapons? No. Oh, here we go. L1 goes down. R1 is fire. L1, L2 and R2 are strafe. Got it. Very neat. So there probably were weapons on the other ship too, I just didn't hit the right buttons. Next up.
Hello, I'm Carl Grande, the QA manager here at Insomniac Games. This gadget was originally intended for Ratchet & Clank 1. Unfortunately, it didn't make the cut, and so never saw the light of day. It now makes its home here at Insomniac Museum, gone but not forgotten.
Okay, another Ratchet & Clank 1 thing. Looks like it was some sort of land A land vehicle? Interesting. Okay, is there anything on our left we've missed? No. And of course there's not going to be anything on the walls, I hope, because I am not going up on the walls. Oh, hi! You actually look like... Oh, no, wait, you're the thing from the moon on Algon.
My name's Corey Stockton, and I'm a designer here at Insomniac Games. This monstrous robotic squid was created for one of the Ratchet Clank 2 prototype levels. Since that level never made it into the finished game, however, neither did poor Squiddy.
This thing reminded me a bit of the UFO from the Algon moon for some reason, but it also reminds me a lot of something from Crack in Time, which we will get to eventually. We got a long series to play. There is this puzzle back here, and we will be doing it eventually. It does unlock something pretty neat. Okay, so let's see. If we go down this way, I believe we've seen everything on the left, so we're going to be looking for anything new on our right. Though I will be checking both sides, of course. Anything here? Here we go.
Tony Garcia here. Using these 3 blue pads, you can edit the 3 particle effects in the center of the room. Go ahead, play around with them. You can achieve some truly great effects this way.
Okay, let's play around with the particle system. Okay, we can change velocity. Oh, okay. It's the... Okay, so there's the blue thing pointing out on the side. I can make it go all sorts of different directions. Got it. Okay, so I control the direction of the blue, the thin blue particle field that's currently pointing up and right with this. Lifespan is how long the particles last. I can change the colors. Rotation speed. Hang on, I need to make it a bit brighter so I can see what this is. Okay, so it's kind of like how fast the particles vibrate around? We can change the texture. Oh! Okay, so texture 2 control... I'm curious how these textures are combined. What's the low spawn timer? I can't change it. I can also add gravity. And I imagine combine that with higher velocities and I can get this to make arcs. So Z is vertical. Got it. Interesting. So that might be how they actually did the water fountain on Algon City. And then you can also change the scale at the beginning and the end so it gets thicker or thinner as it goes. I'm a big fan of this. Wow. And then I'm assuming they're all the same thing. Yeah, these are all controlling the exact same things. There's just 3 separate particle effects that you can use in combination with each other. Okay, let's hop back out of here and keep going this way. Okay, what's happening here? Oh, this is the shot effects. Okay, in that case, let's head over here, back up this way, see what's new on this side. We'll start from the end so we don't miss anything. Hang on, is this a corner room? Oh, this is a corner room. Okay, so actually it's a bit narrower than I thought this building would be. Okay, so clearly we've got a frame buffer effect here.
This was created to test screen buffer effects.
Or screen buffer.
Effects are used to create things like distortion bubbles and heat hazing. This, however, ends up looking like a hall of mirrors. Can you guess why?
Yeah, it's literally just copying the frame buffer right onto that plane right there. So it's copying itself onto itself, onto itself, onto itself. I bet if we move it fast enough, we can see like a 1 or maybe couple frame delay. I'm not gonna measure it, but there's probably like Yeah, there's probably a frame delay per frame. Like, it can only render the previous frame or maybe a couple frames ago, depending on how long the memory copying takes. But yeah, frame buffer effects are very common in video games. They just take a copy of the final rendered image and then they can do things with it, modify it. This is not... No, never mind. I was gonna compare it to the effects that they use in Portal for displaying portals, but no. It's similar, but not the same. In Portal, they actually just straight up use... I guess there are some similarities. What happens in Portal is they take a second camera, render the scene twice, and then copy that second rendered scene that shows what's through the portal onto the portal surface. It takes a bit more power since you have to effectively render 2 frames at once, but yeah. Frame buffer effects, screen buffer effects are very cool and very, very useful. God, I want to actually make a game myself someday. That would be fun. Is there anything over here? Just the particle effects and then nothing. Okay. This room's next.
This dummy was created to test the new reaction system, which we added to Ratchet & Clank 2. With this system, enemies would always be sure to react appropriately to being damaged without a ton of hassle. Go ahead and hit him. He won't mind.
So they used a programmatic ragdolling system so they didn't have to animate, like, getting hits. Interesting. That makes for a lot more flexibility. Wow, okay, rude. I was really hoping. I wanted to shoot it in the head and see what happens, but I'm not. Maybe it's just directional? Leg gets sweeped out. Oh, it's the Okay. So it's not quite as impressive as I was hoping. It is still good. It does still make the animators' lives easier, and that's a good thing. But I was hoping of something like they would react based on where you hit. Also, hello, taxi. Yeah, I'm not gonna drive the taxi around. I love that there's just a bunch of vehicles everywhere. Yeah, I was kind of hoping it was like programmed so that they would react based on where you hit them. But it doesn't look like that's the case, and that would be a lot to ask anyway. Oh my god, this thing.
Corey here. You may recognize this drill from Ratchet & Clank 1. It was held by a large construction worker who gives you a lump of raritanium. This is originally a weapon called the Revolverator. Ratchet would strike enemies with it and then spin them over his head.
Okay, again, reading out only half of the text. Thank you. Thank goodness for captions. But yeah, no, I think I may have talked about this in Ratchet & Clank 1, but there was intended to be a drill weapon back in that game. Alright, next up, pretty sure we've been in this room. No, what are you?
Hi, my name is Sean Whistler, and I'm a tester here at Insomniac Games. Don't worry, Ratchet. You wouldn't have had to fight this monster even if he did make it into the game. This giant bug ship was intended to act as scenery only, flying from place to place to ensure high detail on buildings, while leaving the play area open.
Okay, so this would have shown up as a background element like the other flying ships on Snivelac then. Got it. And then I assume through here is just stuff we've already seen? Yeah, I think this is where the...
Hey, it's Tim.
Yep, this is where the car was. Alright, now what's in here? Oh god.
Sean here. This guy was originally intended to be an enemy in the ill-fated jet ski level that never made it into Ratchet & Clank 1. A moment of silence, please, for this gentle giant, torn down in his prime.
Interesting.
Hey, it's Tim. This monstrosity was intended to be a boss battle fought on the jet ski gadget. Seeing as the jet ski never made it in Ratchet & Clank, however, neither did this boss. May he rest in pieces.
So the thing earlier that I thought was like a floating, hovering land vehicle, that was probably intended to be the jet ski then. I'll see if we can find it again before we check out the last room.
Greetings, this is Oliver Wade, the animation director at Insomniac Games, doing an atrocious British accent. This is the original Gadgetron vendor from Ratchet & Clank 1. The official reason it was cut had something to do with saving memory. The real reason has a lot to do with squirrels, hacksaws, and our lawyers. I can say no more, because I am no longer able to do this accent.
Yeah, they're making some shit up just to make it sound more interesting than it is. There's no way there's a story involving hacksaws, squirrels, and lawyers. Okay, nothing really up here. Have we come to the end of the loop?
Hi, I'm Leslie Matheson. I'm a designer here at Insomniac Games. This was intended to be the water system for Ratchet & Clank. However, as even this little patch of water taxes the game engine to its limits, a modified and severely optimized form was what eventually made it into the game. To see this patch in action, press circle.
Oh, my friend Whisker Biscuit was literally telling me about this yesterday, making sure I showed this. Hyper-realistic water. That is really impressive, actually. But yeah, on PS2, I can see that stressing the system quite a bit. Does the PS2 allow for shaders? That's something I'd be interested to find out. Of course, I've never programmed for a PS2. I'm not a game developer. As cool as that would be. So, the official story behind the Insomniac Museum, now that we've done a loop, the official story is this was actually originally implemented for fun on one of the programmers' free time. They just kind of wanted to show off a bunch of stuff that they were sad couldn't make it into the original game and then also this game. So they decided to just make a little museum hidden in the game to show off some stuff. The higher-ups found out and were like, this seems like you're wasting a bunch of time, but as long as it's not, as long as you're still able to finish all your projects, as long as this doesn't delay work on the actual game, you can keep working on it. And then they roped in a whole bunch of other staff to like pitch in and flesh it out a bit more.
Chris here. This helmet was the original model for the Hologuise gadget in Ratchet & Clank 1. It was eventually changed to the handheld model you see in the finished game for reasons unknown. However, we once again suspect it was due to the squirrels with hacksaws.
Okay, yeah, they really love their squirrels with hacksaws story. Okay, let's see. I believe that is every single room now. I really hope we didn't miss anything. If we did, it's probably a room just hidden off in a corner somewhere, and I would feel really bad, but I think we've shown the bulk of it. Right, this is where you can mess with the infiltrator puzzles. Still really want to figure out how those work. I would love to dive into the code. Okay, real quick, is there anything else? I did say I wanted to try and find the jet ski again. It would have been on this side, probably in one of the edge rooms. Oh, here we go. Here's what was probably the jet ski in Ratchet & Clank 1. That makes perfect sense. Alright, so there's one thing left that I know I haven't shown off. And that is this electrolyzer puzzle back here. It is the hardest electrolyzer puzzle in the game, but thankfully the electrolyzer isn't too difficult in the first place. It just has a lot to pay attention to. Oh, god damn it. Yeah, there's a lot to pay attention to, so. Shoot! Oh, wow, that's a lot happening at once. Oh, I missed someone on top. Oh, I just had 4 left. Got it. There we go. Hardest electrolyzer in the game. But once you have cleared it out, it opens up a very, very special room. Outside! We made it outside. We have escaped the confines of the museum.
These teleporters were originally intended to go into several of the levels. Due to time constraints, however, they were eventually cut.
Alright then, let's take the teleporter. Interesting. And welcome to what is probably my favorite room in the game.
Brian Allgeier here. These escalating rows of blocks were used when we were in the early stages of creating Ratchet & Clank 1. They were used to test Ratchet's jump heights and jump distances to see which would be the most fun.
There is one more message to check out, but you may be able to guess it's not that hard to figure out what exactly this room is.
Brian Allgeier here. These walls, which range from narrow to wide, were used to test wall kick distances for the original Ratchet & Clank.
So yes, this is the physics test room. A lot of games, especially platformers, will have a physics test room where they just create various walls, various heights and distances apart, and other various obstacles just all over the place in order to basically test out the physics, make tweaks, and see what feels best in various scenarios. This is also helpful for level designers to jump around and play with the physics and see, okay, what's the farthest that the character can jump? What are they actually capable of doing? And so how should I design my levels?
Brian Allgeier here. These ramps get steeper and steeper as you go on. They were used to test how Ratchet's feet respond to different floor angles. It also helped establish that a 45-degree angle was the sharpest that Ratchet should be able to walk up.
So yeah, let's go ahead and check all these out. As I mentioned, we have walls of various distances. 9 meters here. 9 meters you can just barely grab on. How about 10 meters? You cannot reach 10 meters. Got it. How about 8 meters? 8 meters you can land. So 8 meters you land, 9 meters you grab on. Got it. And then of course we have closer and closer distances down to 1 meter. We also have the walls of various heights, so we can try out jumping up, seeing how high Ratchet can jump. Without grabbing on, he can do 2 meters, he cannot do 2.5, and he can regular jump to grab up to, looks like, 3.5 meters. As for Clank's boost jump, he cannot reach 6, he cannot reach 5.5, he can reach 5. Then we have the wall jumps. We can test out how close or far the walls are for wall jumps. See what feels good. And then, does it specify how far apart each one is? It doesn't seem to. It looks like we can go up to this distance. And we're making very slow progress there. Oh, we got one more. Let me guess, this is so high we can't make progress. Yeah, this is so far apart we can't make progress. Looks like there is something back here, just a platform. That might just be like reference. I'm curious, these bricks, 1, 2, and then four halves, or 4 fractions. No, the squares aren't all scaled the same, so that's, unfortunately, these squares aren't a standardized distance to make measurement easier. Alright, so let's test out the slopes. We've got 10 degrees, 15 degrees, 20 degrees, and they said they also use this for testing the inverse kinematics, so basically how feet respond to the floor. It doesn't look like there's actually any inverse Oh, no, there's a little bit of inverse kinematics there. 35, 40, yeah, getting pretty steep. 45, they said, was the highest you can climb, and it looks like they go all the way up to 90 up there. Okay, 50 you can climb a little bit up, but not all the way. 55, you can't even begin to climb. Oh, please, I really want to see what's all the way at the top. Oh, and there's an opening right there. And there's that... these things up here that make it look like you're supposed to be able to get up there. Oof, if there's something up there, I would love it for someone to show it to me. Just like, if there's a video online, I'm gonna see if I can find one. Because I really want to see what's up there. But yeah, I think, other than whatever they might be hiding from us up there, that's gonna be it for the museum. We've seen everything there is to offer here. Just a whole bunch of debug and dummied out stuff. We can mess around with particle effects, with the puzzles. We can mess around with a lot. Check out things that didn't make it into either Ratchet & Clank 1 or 2. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of the museum, and it is, thankfully, something that comes back in later games as well. Not every later game. They didn't always have time to implement a museum, but they did in a few games, and it's always a delight. Out of curiosity, is there like maybe one last thing that maybe I've missed? Nothing here. I didn't check if there's anything really on the walls. I hope to God there isn't. I would hate if there's something on the walls. Awful to navigate. But yeah, I think we've seen everything. There's like, oh, shoot. There, give me the charge boots. Don't crash into the wall. There's one last corner I want to check just to be safe. No, there's nothing. Alright then, yeah. That's it for the Insomniac Museum. We have now seen everything. And that's also going to be it for Ratchet & Clank Going Commando. The game has been finished. We've done literally everything that we can do / that is really worth showing in a Let's Play. So, I think we're going to go ahead and leave the series off here. We're going to be returning next week with our next Let's Play. I've already got it started. I already have the first several episodes recorded. I'm very excited about what's coming up next. If you like my videos and you want to support me, these are definitely very time intensive to make. I do have a Patreon. Basically just consider it a tip jar where you can donate some amount of money just to support me, since this does, yeah, again, take a lot of time to make these videos. At $1 a month, you are basically just supporting me. You get to vote on polls on future Let's Plays. In the case of the Let's Play coming up next, we already had that poll. We actually had a tie last time between Ratchet & Clank and the other game. So the other game, other than Going Commando, is what we're doing next. But usually we are going to be doing a poll near the end of each Let's Play to determine what we do next. For $5 or more a month, you get to see videos as soon as they're ready. I try to maintain about a 4-week buffer, just in case real-life circumstances come up. I've been doing that for years, even before Patreon. But if you are donating $5 or more a month, you get to see videos as soon as I have finished recording, editing, and uploading them. So you basically get to skip the buffer. And for $10 or more a month, I will put your names in the end slates of each video from there on until at least so long as you are a $10 or higher Patreon supporter. A sincere thank you to everyone who does support me, everyone who watches these videos. If you don't have the money to support me on Patreon, or you don't think I'm really worth the money, that's fair. Seriously, thank you everyone for watching. I've had a great time with Ratchet & Clank Going Commando, and I am very excited for the next game we're going to be playing as well. We will hopefully be back with more Ratchet & Clank in due time, but for now, we're gonna leave our boys here to take a nice, well-deserved break after screwing over Quark once again. I will see everyone next time for the misadventures of Tron Bonne.